To this chapter 22, verse 18, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, all praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone that rule well. And peace and blessings be multiplied on all your brethren, teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. And shalom to the few Akwaf that listen and subscribe as well. So Brother Dama Gabar, here with another lesson, Lord willing to edify through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And as you can see, I opened up with Exodus 22 and 18, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Because even in this modern time of 2023, you still have witches and warlocks that are still out here existing, out here living lives, going to the grocery store. They're in different positions of, they're CEOs, they're business owners, they're politicians, they're mayors, they're governors, even sitting upon thrones, man. You have witches and warlocks and sorcerers still living unto this very day. This is just not some far-fetched idea or some ancient world type of thing. All right, witches and warlocks still exist unto this day. All right, and the Hebrew word for witch is kasap. It says to practice witchcraft or sorcery, use witchcraft, sorcerer, sorceress. You see, to enchant or practice magic, and you still have these individuals alive today, man. And you're being enchanted with witchcraft and sorcery through the music, through the medical field, the pharmakia, the pills you're popping, the television, like I said, the music, and this vibration of sorcery, which is basically something that can get, that has a negative effect on your mind, or that deceives you, or that how do I put it? Something that can be mind altering, something very harmful and deceptive, the left hand vibration that is used against you to have a negative effect, or to have the effect that the witch or sorcerer is trying to desire out of you, man. All right. And I say that because I was reading this article here, which shows you that, there's nothing new under the sun, man. All right. It says a coven of British witches and pagans pledged their allegiance to King Charles, claiming he is very pagan and supportive of their beliefs, you see, because the whole King Charles and that whole so-called monarchy over there in England, they're nothing but a bunch of witches and sorcerers and warlocks, man. All right, they're heavy into the occult. They're heavy into sorcery and paganism, man. They don't worship the God of the Bible, man. Don't get it twisted. If you hear them say, "Oh, and God this and God that," they're not talking about the God of the Bible, man. They're talking about the very pagan, very ancient, demonic gods, man. You see. And this is further proves a point that, hey, witchcraft is still alive, man. And the Lord speaks about, the different sorcery and the witchcraft of these Edomites and of the world. That the time is coming to where the Lord is going to come and bring his vengeance and his anger upon, all of these heathens and the pagans and their idols, man. So let's read a little bit of this article. Got a couple of precepts and I'm going to close out. So don't think that this is not a real thing, man. Hey, these elites and these Edomites, man, they delve, and not these other nations as well. They delve heavily into sorcery and witchcraft, man. Like I said, whether it's through the music, through propaganda, through the media, through the music, through, Walgreens and, prescription drugs, a lot of these opioids, marijuana, all these things, man, are forms of sorcery and witchcraft, man, that is being used by these elites to play on the minds of you people. So anyway, let's get into some of this. It says, I posted an important article last week detailing how King Charles III is the leader of the global sustainable development movement being implemented through the United Nations Agenda 2030 with help from the World Economic Forum, which the United Nations and the World Economic Forum is nothing more than a huge band of sorcerers and sorceresses, man. It's nothing more but a left-handed a left-handed organization, using witchcraft on very high levels to deceive the people, man, and to bring in different policies and to do all type of shit. It says, I noted that in that article near his religious fervor in supporting the so-called green agenda, complete with his insane plan for total decarbonization that, if successful, would lead to mass starvation and depopulation of the planet. Taken to its extreme, this is a form of earth worship, I reported. It says, and let's not forget what took place at last year's United Nations COP27 climate conference in Egypt when blatant pagan earth worship was on full display. It says, for more on this, see my October 25th article in which climate activist Dennis Meadows clearly explains in a video that the climate crisis can never be solved without drastic population reduction. Now comes this bombshell from the UK tabloid The Sun, which reports that witches and pagans from across the United Kingdom gathered to cast spells in support of King Charles during a special coronation ritual ceremony. And that's what this whole thing was. A whole coronation of Charles was nothing more than a satanic ritual, man. All right. Now they made it look like it was something normal and this is how they've been doing it, but there was a lot of things going on and a lot of symbolisms being blasted on the television and being used during this coronation, man. And I guarantee you, if you was in the presence of that shit, if you were spiritual, you would feel a very heavy and demonic vibration during that whole coronation. It says the spells involve lighting blue, red, and white candles, burning incense, scattering rose petals, and giving magical gifts to each other on coronation day. You see? So it was just one huge, ritual ceremony, man, done in the spirit of left-handed energy and witchcraft and Satanism, man. But they made it, seem as if it was the norm, to the average person looking at it. But we know it had deeper, significant meanings behind it. It says the witches began casting spells several days ahead of the May 6th coronation of King Charles. Julie Aspinall, a 58-year-old self-described pagan witch and the main organizer of the event, spoke in depth with The Sun. She said the witches' coronation ritual took place at the Festival of Witches and Pagans being held in Coventry over the coronation weekend, you see? And these are just things that they just do, This is not some mystery thing. This is not some hidden, organization. They're out there, man. Just like now here in America, you got these elementary school Satan clubs popping up, man. Because now they're in the spirit of making witchcraft and paganism and sorcery mainstream, and they're not hiding it anymore. This is, something that they're now able to put on the forefront and to openly present unto the people. And now they're going to put places and laws to where, you'll be condemned and judged or fined or put in prison for having something negative to say about shit like this in the future. She said, where was I? Oh, more than 2,000 people were expected to attend the festival, which featured a range of workshops from wand making and spell casting to crystal skull healing, you see? And it shows you the duality of everything. Now, people might say, well, y'all burn incense, y'all burn frankincense and different things like that. But hey, there's the left-handed use and the right-handed use. We're not using, the herbs and, stones and things of that nature to worship Satan and to bow down and worship them and using them to cast spells and put use it for wicked purposes, man. But these witches and these warlocks do. It says a series of night rituals were also planned according to the official website description of the event, which stated, we have been tasked by the Great Mother to teach the ways of the witch and pagan to those that need it. We work hard to develop young, curious minds, draw out and nurture natural talents. You see? So this is what they do with this, man. You see? It says the event was organized by Aspinall and her coven, the Coven of Gaia. She told The Sun that King Charles has always been very supportive of the pagan community, you see? So Prince Charles ain't nothing more than a goddamn pagan, man. Just like the Pope and the Vatican and Roman Catholicism is nothing more but a pagan community, man. And all the roots and all of the things that go on in the Roman Catholic Church and the Vatican and through this monarchy is all pagan, man. All right. It's not of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. It's not of righteousness. That's why all that freakiness and weirdness goes on, amongst these devils, man. You see? You better believe King Charles and that whole monarchy, they're into child sacrifice. They're into pedophilia, man. Drinking of blood baths, adrenochrome. They're heavy into all of it, man. But they present themselves on TV with a squeaky clean image as if they're just, trying to run a country and take care of its citizens, man. Hey, behind the scenes, there's a lot of wickedness, a lot of occultic and a lot of satanistic shit going on, man. It says, in her interview with The Sun, Aspinall stated, we know King Charles is the head of the Church of England, but to us, he's very pagan in his beliefs too. His invitation featured the Green Man and lots of other pagan symbolism, you see? So it's all over this thing, man. It's nothing more but paganism, earth worship. You see? It says his mother, the Queen, was adopted as a Druid in Wales when she was young, Aspinall told The Sun. The royal family has always been supportive of pagan beliefs. The King Charles is very much into saving the family, saving the trees, nature, and that's how we live. So we wanted to include him in the ceremony. The Coven of Gaia special coronation ritual took place on Sunday, May 7th, and involved the witches and pagans gathering in a circle and chanting their allegiance to Charles, you see? So it's all satanic, man. It's all Luciferian, and it's all pagan in nature, man. You know, these devils ain't trying to worship Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and this is why they ultimately are going to be destroyed, man. It says, lament for Babylon, which America is, basically comes out of America. So the same shit that take place there in England, it takes place here. You know, a lot of these alphabet groups, the FBI, the CIA, they have a lot of occultic and satanic beliefs going on inside of that organization, man. But let me jump down to the point, man. I'll start here. Isaiah 47:7. And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. And this is the mind frame of Esau Edom. Whether he's here in America, over there in Europe, all of these elites, man, they have that mindset frame that they're never going to go down, and that their Satanism and witchcraft and, wicked, nefarious practices are going to constantly benefit them, even from the judgment of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. It says, thou therefore hear now this, thou that are given to pleasures, that dwelleth carelessly, that saith in thy heart, I am, and none else besides me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children, because they really believe that all of this Satanism and child sacrificing and all this wickedness is going to protect them and, give them the longevity that they need to constantly be in the position of power, man. And to eventually even bring in this new world order and basically do away with the belief and the faith in God on this earth, you know? It says, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment and one day, the loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries, you see, and for the great abundance of thine enchantments, you see. So this shit is taking place every day. Their sorceries and their enchantments, man. They're constantly, setting up things to where you people are constantly going on, especially you Israelites, you Jakes, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. This devil has so much sorcery and witchcraft being presented in front of you that you don't even know what you're being hit with, but you're going along and dancing to the tune of these sorceries and the enchantments and the lies and the deception that this devil presents before you as as culture and as, the American way or the Britain way, and this devil was working behind the scenes heavily, constantly throwing out enchantments, man. And as long as he sees the people being affected and the people, going along with it, he thinking that he's on top, that he's winning, that, nothing can be done about it. But he's sadly mistaken, man. It says, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. See, and that's what you do when you cast a spell on somebody. You do it nonchalantly. You do it so that, they don't have no, that they're not thinking that, they're being, enchanted upon, if I'm saying that in the right way. You see all these different policies, that whole WEF, these agendas, these laws are all a form of spells and witchcraft being casted upon the people, but presented as something that's going to help you and that's beneficial. But really, it's something to warp and to, sway you in a way that you are unaware of, It says, thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. Right? He really thinks that he's a god, man. I guarantee you, when this bozo right here is sitting here in this coronation, going through this ritual, he probably feels like he's God, man. He probably feels like he's untouchable, that he can't be stopped. Our plans are going forth, and nothing that anybody can do can stop us. Look at this devil on the right with that little wicked grin on his face. He's probably a fucking super demon, man. It says, therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from which it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolations will come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. So stand now with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, you see. wherein thou hast labored from thy youth, if so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou shalt prevail, which they're not going to prevail, man. You see, the Lord's going to send Yahushua to come back and to annihilate these devils, man. And the word for enchantments is habar. It says a magician, a charmer, spell. You see? And this is part of their wisdom and their knowledge, you know. It's a secretive knowledge. Well, it was. It's coming out now, but you know, for the longest, they was operating with this secret witchcraft and sorcery throughout the earth, man. You know, shit, even the dollar bill itself, the financial system here in America, you know, the dollar bill is a talisman. That's a form of enchantment, which is why people are so goddamn crazy and bugged out, you know, about the almighty dollar, man. You know, why people go to such lengths to do so much to get it and to have it, not knowing that it's a form of the spells and sorcery of Esau, man. It says, thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators, like this witch coven that was doing those rituals to, you know, hoping that the coronation of Prince Charles prevails, all going to be destroyed, man. It's all going to end up going up in smoke, and it's all going to end up being sadly disappointed when Yahweh Shai returns, man, and brings the visitation and nuclear fire upon all the idols and the sorcery and the magic of these damn demons and witchcrafts and witches, man. It says, let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Right. So when Yahweh Shai crack them clouds, I want to see y'all going deep into the sorcery bag and the witchery bag, man. Stand with these things when Yahweh Shai returns, man. All right, that shit is going to get folded like a lazy boy. It's going to get totally obliterated and burnt with fire, man. It says, behold, they shall be as stubble. See, the fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of flame, because that's ultimately the judgment of a witch. You're supposed to burn her with fire, man. So therefore, this Esau and his system and all of his institutions that operate under this vibration are all going to be burnt with nuclear fire and from the fire from the chariots and Yahweh Shai when he returns, man. It says, they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. Thus shall they be unto thee with whom they have labored, even thy merchants from thy youth. They shall wander every one to his quarter, and none shall save thee. You see, so he's definitely ain't going to be saved, man. All right, it's going to be totally done away with and destroyed, and that's going to be the end of it, man. I had a couple other precepts, but you know, I don't need to go into those because you know I believe that the point is made, and as you can see, man, hey, this witchcraft and this sorcery is still alive at play as we speak, man. But we know eventually it all gonna have its end, and all these witches and these warlocks, they're all gonna be met with the same judgment, which is fire from upon heaven by Yahweh, by Shem Yahweh Shai in that day, man. So I just wanted to do this quick lesson. Lord willing, you were edified. I want to give all glory to Yahweh, by Shem Yahweh Shai, putting the spirit of me to do this lesson. Lord willing, you were edified. Shalom.